Hello students, welcome to the channel and you were watching the ultimate English teacher and lecturer. Walt Whitman, American poet. Walt Whitman was born on May 31, 1819 in West Hills, on Long Island, New York. He was the second son of Walter Whitman, a house builder, and Louisa Van Welser. In the 1820s and 1830s, the family, which consisted of 9 children, lived in Long Island and Brookline, where Whitman attended the Brookline Public Schools. At the age of 12, Whitman began to learn the printer's trade and fell in love with the written word. Largely self-taught, he read voraciously, becoming acquainted with the works of Homer, Dante, Shakespeare, and the Bible. Whitman worked as a printer in New York City until a devastating fire in the printing district demolished the industry. In 1836, at the age of 17, he began his career as teacher in the one-room schoolhouses of Long Island. He continued to teach until 1841, when he turned to journalism as a full-time career. He founded a weekly newspaper, The Long Islander, and later edited a number of Brookline and New York papers, including the Brookline Daily Eagle. In 1848, Whitman left the Brookline Daily Age to become editor of the New Orleans Christian for 3 months. After witnessing the auctions of enslaved individuals in New Orleans, he returned to Brookline in the fall of 1848 and co-founded a free soil newspaper, the Brookline Freeman, which he edited through the next fall. Thematically and poetically, the notion dominates the 3 major poems of 1855, I Sing the Body Electric, The Sleepers, and The Song of Myself, all of which were merged in the first edition under the single title Leaves of Grass, but were demarcated by clear breaks in the text and the repetitions of the title. At the outbreak of the Civil War, Whitman vowed to live a purged and cleansed life. He worked as a freelance journalist and visited the wounded at New York City area hospitals. He then traveled to Washington, D.C. in December 1862 to care for his brother, who had been wounded in the war. In 1873, Whitman suffered a stroke that left him partially paralyzed. A few months later, he traveled to Camden, New Jersey to visit his dying mother at his brother's house. He ended up staying with his brother until the 1882 publication of Leaves of Grass, James R. Osgood, which brought him enough money to buy a home in Camden. In the simple 2-story clapboard house, Whitman spent his declining years working on additions and revisions to his deathbed editions of Leaves of Grass, David Mackay 1891-92, and preparing his final volume of poems and prose, Goodbye My Fancy, David Mackay 1891. After his death on March 26, 1892, Whitman was buried in a tomb he designed and had built on a lot in Hurley Cemetery. Don't forget to subscribe the channel to get all the latest videos. Thank you for watching.